Good. Okay, just start with the body. Hand is holding the bottom here. Just very gently rolling to the side. Again. You're just rolling here now, this way, forward and backward. Stretching up, stretching back, and then all the way. Bending the knees, back up, stretching up, back a little bit, and forward, bending the knees. Curling up through the spine, stretching up, bending down. Right, now you're going to bend down and you're going to stretch up. Really stretch up through the spine. There we go. Sit slowly and then back up. You're going to squat down, press up. Release. High. Squatting down, stretching up. Slightly similar, but now feet a little bit close together. You're going to squat down. You're going to be at a kind of angle here with the sword. So what you want to do is try and lengthen the spine this way. Here. So slightly forward. Here. Release it. And again, stretching up. Slightly forward. Release it. One more time. To the back. All the way down, down, down. And then as you get to the next point, you start to bring the arm back and over the top of the head. You can try and keep the knees straight, the legs bending, lifting from the pelvis and stretching over the top. And then the arms coming over. One more time. Like this, you're going to roll that to the side, and you're going to use both hands in this case, so as if the body comes over. So like this, double, like, so this way, and then really stretch out with both arms, with a sense of tightening out. Coming back slowly. Do the same side 3 times. So, you know, roll back over. Keep the elbow tight to the body and then press it out. Opening the rib cage. Release it. And move the elbows tight and then extension through the elbow. Okay. Good. Release it and just go to the other side. So, elbows tight. and then open out. Back, roll over, extension out. One more time. Similar, but you're going to roll over to the back and then coil over back this way. So this time you're spiraling over to the back here and then extension out. Again, 3 times each side, rolling over here and then coiling out. Good. One more time. Good. The other side. Rotating. To the front, so you can roll down with the hip. Keep the elbows quite tight, and then extension. You're going to spiral the body from the ground. You can, if this is, you can in this case really coil the arms this way. Here, actually, you're going to create a twist with the arms in this one. Or you can just keep them straight and press down. But if you can, in this case, see if you can create a kind of rotation in the arms here. I'm going to do this. Do it again 3 times each side. And changing side. Good. And the last one, just to loosen the whole body, taking the bokken right at the end, and just rolling through a big circle. In this case, keep the arms up, and really roll them down. Direction. Good. Okay, just shaking the body off. Rolling it. The leg. Go a little bit to the wrist. You're just going to take the end of the bokken this way with a little bit of space at the end. You're going to coil it back into the body. You're going to kind of apply like a nikyo to yourself this way. So this way. Using the end of the bokken here, coil it over. Point the pommel of the bokken towards yourself, and then just apply it here. So just apply, add pressure. Apply, add pressure. You can add pressure by just pressing up here with this hand. And changing side. So this way. You can also do it this way. So this way. Below. Rolling it out. Pressure from below. Good. And then just the same. You can take here. Roll the pommel over this way now, and then take, and then press here. Just a little bit more pressure, slightly more pressure on the joint. That's it. Release it, roll it over, press it in. Release, roll it over, press it in. Good. To the side. So taking here, rolling it over, pressing it in. On, release it, rolling over, taking, over, taking. This time like a kotegaeshi, so you've got the bokken here, curling it all the way over. This time you can add pressure either on the wrist itself or just above the hand here. So the pressure is going to come here down. That's very gentle pressure, and then release it, hand here, and then just curl it over. Good, release, press. Good. Way over, so the hand here, curling the wrist over, and then applying it here. Applying it. Good. Then what you're going to do is you're going to go all the way over the all the way over the elbow here. Take the bokken as far as you can here, and then you apply the pressure down here. This is like for a shionage. So really for the shoulder joint in the elbow. So release it, apply it. Maybe in this case, allow the body to also go with it. This way. This way. Good. So taking the bokken all the way over the elbow, and just apply it here against the whole wrist, elbow, shoulder. This way. Good. Good. Okay, last one. Take the bokken here again. You're going to roll it over. This is like a sanko, and then you're going to take the bokken and you're going to pull it towards yourself this way. This way. So really now against the joint here. That's it. That's it. And again, see if you can find also the the connection into the wrist, into the elbow, and then into the shoulder. See if you can find the chain of the articulation as it goes. There. So just apply through the joint, wrist, elbow, shoulder. Connected there. Good. And then change. So here on the bokken, twist all the way over. Yeah, and then pull towards yourself. Find the connection and then apply it. Find the connection, apply. Connect, apply. Good. Okay, just for the hands, you're just going to squeeze. So you're just going to press with one hand, squeeze. And in this case, the focus is on the back hand, the back two fingers of the hand. You're going to really press in, press out. So you're going to relax one, relax the other. So when you press, relax, press, relax. Always on, in this case, even when you're relaxing, have a sense of pressing into it. You see, this is also this kind of kokyu move here. And the area I'm in is this part of the hand. So I'm in this part, the kind of heel of the hand, this which takes the impact. So what you're doing is just basically tightening into this area, especially in the left side as well, here. So just tighten one area and release the other. Pulsing through the hands. And really have a sense of gripping stronger. Keeping the connection. That's it. That's it. Good. And then you're just going to do them both together. So releasing, pressing in, releasing, pressing in, release, press in, release, pressing in. Obviously, when you release, you're going to keep the connection, keep the contact here. So just release, press in, release, press, release, press, release, press. You try kind of both sides, so as if you're doing a right and left side cut. This way. You just get the feeling the hands are going to come together. So squeezing together. That's it. So in Japan, sometimes they use this kind of analogy like a washcloth. It's a bit dirty. In any, what you do is, I explain the grip. They explain it in a way like it's wringing a cloth this way. So it's like this kind of action. This kind of action. So it's like this, and then squeezing into it. Now, since it's not like twisting it, but it's just kind of applying pressure this way. So both hands are applying pressure down this way. You imagine like this and this. So there's a kind of tightening between the whole thing becomes kind of taut here. It's got this kind of quality. So sometimes they use this kind of analogy in Japan. They use these washcloths. So in this case, it's really like a sense of ringing through the bokken without kind of twisting. So in a sense, what you don't want to do is go into the shoulders and the joints here, but you want just a sense that you're ringing through the bokken. There's a sense now. See if you can get a sense of now transferring the feeling to the whole weapon. In a sense, it's not just focusing, but what you're doing is kind of transferring the feeling through the whole bokken. I'm trying to. I'm pressing all my system into the weapon. That's it. Good. So now just start to slightly raise from a square position. Just slightly raise with the release, and then just press into it. Raise. So very light. Just have a sense of raising, bringing the sword down. Okay. And in this sense, it's like the sword rests into the ground, onto like a table. So it's like this kind of feeling, this kind of feeling, this kind of feeling. And it is that it's not really going anywhere. So it's just being placed into the ground, placed into the ground. That's it. You start to raise and connect, raise and connect, raise and connect. Good. That's it. Yeah, good. I'm going to try and show. I don't know if I can show this properly. There's something called hello. There's something called kind of wedging in terms of abdominal movement. So from the center, there's something called wedging. It basically means that the whole abdomen is becoming tight. Now this is called kind of wedging. You're going to kind of press against the belt and the hakama. So when you've got a gi belt and a hakama, you can really do this. I'll try and show it. The easiest way you do it is you put a kind of tanto into the pants. That looks quite bad. And then what you do is you press into it, expand into it. Now, if I've got this kind of pressure, the knife can't be pulled out. So there's a sense of wedging by pressure against the belt and against the hakama. And when you've got the hakama on, you'll feel the four belts of the hakama will expand out, so that you get a kind of pressure against the whole system, which transfers all the way around the center. So what in a sense what you do when you press with the hands is also have a sense of pressure with the abdomen. So the whole center region is going to kind of have an expansion out. So in a sense, it's not a kind of contractive movement, but an expansive movement. This kind of feeling. So the feelings it calls kind of wedging with the center. So just have a feel for it. When you do this, there's a sense really of squeezing here, but of also expansion out from the center. So there's something expanding, pressing out. This feeling transfers out to the tip. This is the feeling that transfers out, rather than it just being the arms. This is the arms with no center work. This is where you get just kind of that. And see if you can really have the feeling the center motivates the sword, and the center is actually the thing that snaps. So the center is the thing that snaps. Yeah, just do a few more. Try and exaggerate it so you can really feel it. Yeah. That's it. Yeah, good. Good. Nice. good, good. Okay, and see, in this case, make this a little bit more exaggerated. You're going to now kind of raise and cut down. Now, I want you to have a sense that when you cut, there's a kind of finality to it. So don't think about doing repetitions. What you'll end up is a kind of this, dong, dong, dong. But have a sense of just raising and then bringing everything down. So the sense of completing it. And then, in this case, reconnect here from this position. Raise and cut down. And give yourself a little break between the cut. Raise, cutting down. Really have a sense of the center expanding and spreading out. Also in all directions, especially down and out this way, but also back and down this way. So really have a sense of now connecting it. Release, raise and cut down. Raise and cut down. Yeah, give it a try. A sense of real clarity in the movement now. Yeah, that's it.
Michael.
Yeah.
There's a little bit of problem. Because
Yeah.
normally when we're raising the sword, we breathe, right?
Uh-huh. Yeah.
So after we breathe, when I drop the sword, I feel like breathing out.
Yeah.
And when I do that, that thing is not happening because you know this thing normally happens when you breathe in, but I'm supposed to breathe out.
Yeah, so this is actually what's known as reverse abdominal breathing. So there's actually kind of two ways of breathing. No, there's lots of ways of breathing. There's like.
Can I see you?
Oh, sorry. I'll show. Let's just kind of. Yeah, so there's what's known as reverse abdominal breathing. Now, I don't really teach it so much because actually what you want later is a kind of natural breath. Now, if you look at martial arts that train a long time, they're all doing reverse abdominal breathing, almost in every single case, especially martial arts that go internal, and then continue the art. Now, in terms of the breath, quick one, you've got like two kinds of breath: a breath out which is going to relax me, this kind of way, and a breath out which is going to tighten. So in this case, I'm using the second one, so I can breathe out in a way that actually tightens. And this is when you do a ki, this way, it's not done in a way to go, so you can't do a ki. This is actually why the ki is almost mandatory in Japan, in Iwama, right, especially, because you can't do a ki with relaxing. I can't ki and relax the abdomen this way. Now, what you want is the feeling of sinking. Rather than tightening, it's actually feeling of sinking down. So in a sense, you're right, like breathing in and then breathing out. But in a sense, my breath out needs to be a compression also into the ground.
Is it number 3 kind of thing? You know, when we do the Suburi number 3, we breathe in, but we don't breathe out. We kind of press it towards the abdomen or something.
It's slightly this way. In this case, 3 is really exaggerated. We'll go to 3 next, but in a sense, it's the same. You breathe in, you're compressing. As you breathe in, have the sense that you're breathing in from below. So you're actually filling from below the diaphragm. Now, my diaphragm also needs to sink down at the same time. So in a sense, when I breathe in, I don't want to breathe in this kind of shallow way from the top down. But what you want to do is like a pump. You want to breathe up from the bottom this way, and then the breath out is in a sense compressing this. So when I breathe out, I'm pressing it down to expel it out, pressing down to expel out. So in a sense, it's like feeling from the bottom, pressing out this way. That makes sense? Oh.
Well, hypothetically it does, but I don't know how it's going to work with me.
But they said, just explore these kind of 2 breaths. You've basically got, which relaxes me, and which tightens. And you're going to do kind of the second one. But
Okay, thank you.
What's called kind of reverse abdominal breathing. Or and you can also do it with a ki, because if you do it with a ki, you can't do it. Oh, also, yeah, this is another point. If you do the ki in terms of, there's also 2 ways you do ki. Oh, there's lots of ways you do ki, but you'll know from the mat. You can do a ki that's like, in the mouth. Ah! Or you can do a ki which comes from the base of the it comes from the gut, so it's more guttural. This way. So you need a ki that kind of actually builds up here and comes out this way. Comes out this way. Or you have a ki that's just in the throat. This way. Yeah. So but you want a sense that it's coming from the gut out. This way. Yeah.
Okay, thanks.
You can try. Good. Okay, so just go to number 1 with all those feelings. So you're going to really release as you go back. Realize you have to find the spine open out, and then press it all forward. With expansion out and down. Really relax. Cut. In this case, when you do Suburi, cut, and then refine the kamai. And then find the back, cutting down. So really find the kamai. Really take your time with each one. Oh my God. Sorry about that. You're going to really find the back, sink down, and then connect up into the kamai. Finding the back and cutting down. Give it a try. Just the first Suburi. Nice. Oh. Okay, and since we've gone into breath, try and have the feeling that you don't just breathe with your nasal passage. So you don't just breathe with your nose and your mouth. It's the whole body that does it. So in this case, if we think about whole body movement, everything you do, you want to be doing with the whole body. Okay, so try and just explore different parts of your body with the breath. The main one's actually the hands and the feet. So actually have a sense of breathing with the feet through the ground and then extension out through the ground. So have a feeling that the breath is done really with the whole body. But try and basically separate different parts. There's a sense of breathing in with the hands to release. So releasing, breathing in, and then here tightening, breathing out. So this motion of releasing and then tightening is actually done with the whole body. And the motion, the action of breathing in and breathing out, expelling is again done with the whole body. So really just explore different parts of the body and try and almost, just try and feel that you breathe with the whole body. You don't really, but you do in a way. Just so it's just the nose and the lungs, but in a way it's not. They're all. Yeah. Nice.
practical.
Yeah.
And I just found that when I'm, say for example, I'm visualizing breathing from my hands,
Yeah.
the breath comes out, I know I'm on mute anyway, but the breath comes out different as opposed to if I'm breathing, so breathing from my legs. Is that normal?
Yeah, it's actually great. It should feel different. Yeah,
Okay.
it should totally feel. So if I'm going to a different part of the body, say, yeah, like I'm focusing in the hands. It's not me.
Sorry.
Who's that? So if I'm doing something different in terms of sensation, I'm focusing on that hands. What does it feel like to kind of breathe with a sense of the hands? They should feel different. The whole thing should feel different than if I'm breathing with a sense of the feet. Actually, good in terms of sensation. Great. It should feel different because it is different. Now, in a sense, what you want to do is kind of collect all those sensations, different kinds of sensations, and then bring them together. Because actually, they're all the same in the end. But yeah, they should feel different. That's
Okay.
good. And that's good. Good.
Thank you.
Good news. Good news. Good. Okay, so we'll go to Zengo-gi. Now, so you're going to cut to the front. Yeah, you're going to rotate 180 degrees, and then cutting down to the left side. So each time rotate, use it above the head, draw the sword down. So now you're going to breathe in here, breathe in out here. And have a sense again, like the breath is coming up through the body. You're sinking down, belling it out. Now just give it a try. So Zengo-gi, front and back. Just kind of focusing on uniting the breath with the body work. That's it. Good. Okay, just do this now like this. Again, because it's kind of repetitious practice, the practice becomes repetitious. And you want to kind of avoid those, you want to avoid kind of repetitious practice in the sense where you're just doing the same thing over and over again. You want to look at a practice that's kind of not going anywhere, but is actually you're changing things as you do it. So what I want you to do now is just do 2 cuts. So just come back, cut, release, and then just go somewhere else. Yeah, I really go somewhere else. Go to a different place. Here, find the back, cut. Find the back, cut, and then release it. Yeah, and go somewhere else. Find the connection. And then find somewhere else. Yeah. This is a little bit when I do archery. You've got 2 shots. 1, you reload. 2. And then you've got to walk to go and get them. So you've got to always have a pause in between the action. In archery, you would never kind of boom, 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 boom. Your concentration drains so quickly. So in a sense, what you want to do is have a sense of finality, cutting, finding the other cut, boom. And then it's done. And then you go somewhere else, boom. And then you start again. Yeah, try and practice like this in this sense. You can access this feeling by doing repetition, but it's harder. So try and have the sense of real completion through it. So just 2 cuts. Okay. Good. Nice. That's it. Oh, okay, good. So now we'll do, based on number 5, a yokomen strike. So you're in the right side in this case. You're just going to step with the left, perform one cut. So in this case, a yokomen cut is circular over the top of the head and then striking. The movement now comes diagonally. So from the back foot stepping in, one step, one cut. And then again, just find another cliff. So to here. Keep it nice and calm. Just strikes, just from the right side, yokomen uchi strike on the left side. So you're going to bring the sword circularly around, perform a diagonal strike. Yeah. Good. Good. And now just go to 2 strikes. So starting from the right, just make so you're going to go left side, right side. And again, just refine the posture. Take your time. Strike on the left, strike on the right. Back. Oh. And come back. Yeah, just take 2 steps at a time. And that's it. Oh. And so how do you find the breath in this movement when you're doing 2 cuts? How do you find it when you're doing the movement? Open question. It's an open question.
For me, it's really helpful to concentrate on the breath. And for me, my movement is, I hope so, much more fluid and much more in a flow.
Yeah. in terms of this one, it's quite difficult because you're doing 2 cuts and you're actually going to do these in.
And you go like that, so it's yeah, it's quite difficult really to keep on.
The similarity in this case is like swimming. When you do a
Yeah.
stroke like this, now you've got to know when to breathe and when you can and when you can't breathe. So in terms of this practice, especially if you do more, just explore now longer sequences, so 4, 5, 6, but really explore the breath in this case. Yeah. And this is where the breath can kind of catch you out, because if my feeling is like I need to breathe in and I need to breathe out all the time, or it becomes a kind of dogmatic thing, I end up quite rigid.
Yeah, yeah.
And I'm actually doing something that's actually not natural. So I want you to find a kind of natural breath now in this case. So in my case, I feel like I can't really breathe. You can't take a full breath as you take the strike. Yeah. By the time I've taken a full breath, I've already done the cut. So my cut is faster than my breath. So in this case, try and explore a slightly different pattern of breathing. So I'm actually doing 3 or 4, but I'm actually doing it in 1 breath. So I'm expelling and breathing in slightly, but just explore now this, yeah? So try and take the breath naturally, but try and unite it with the movement now. So do 3, 4, 5, 6, as many as you can, and just really explore the sense of breath. Try it with a full breath in. But in terms of breathing really deeply, in this case, I can't do that. So.
Michael, is it like you take 1 breath and then in every cut you release partially, or is that what you mean?
Yeah, so
because you can take breath every time, but you can breathe once and then you can release 1, 2, 3, 4, kind of.
Just explore that feeling. I'm basically going to exhale. I'm going to exhale partially in the cut.
Yeah.
And you can actually do this. Try also without breathing. So try the cut without breathing. You can do it. The movement will come anyway. So just explore it. Try and find, in a sense, where what you want is a kind of natural breath and a kind of efficiency in the movement. That's something that gets me very tired quickly. I want to kind of avoid. But. Oh. Oh. Hey. Hey. Oh, okay, good. So we're going to a ski. We're just going to really simplify it. So you're going to cut right up here, cut on the right side, and then thrust out with the left foot. So you're going to now cut right side, and then with the left foot stepping in and thrusting in. So just make it really simple, and then take a pause. You're really going to find the yokomen, whoosh, this way, and then release it. Find the kamae, strike yokomen, thrust in with the ski. Oh, this way. And just play with it. So right side cut, yokomen, left side thrust. Yeah, give it a try. Take a pause between each one. And again, just explore the breath through the movement. I'm going to take a step from the back. Oh. Oh.
Michael?
Yeah.
Are you doing a yokomen or a showman?
In this case, do a yokomen. So
No, you don't raise your bokken above your head now, so you make a very short.
you'll use the center of the head, so just above the head.
Yeah.
You can
And
even
then
use the back too. So you can use the back also, but just have a feeling of arcing the
yeah, you go to the side.
front.
Yeah.
Just slightly arc it out here.
Yeah.
And then from here, come to here.
And then in.
Yeah, that was actually it's a good point. There was a video. I'm not going to tell you who did it. There's a video that came a while ago, and it was shared all in my group WhatsApp, and it was basically saying that you can't. The difference between a showman and a yokomen is about stepping. So I'm basically gonna. The showman's like this, and then it's only because
Straight on.
that I make a yokomen. Actually, it's not true. In a case, it's just the hip work changes. So in the case of this, the showman, the hips just go flatly press forward. And in the case of the yokomen, I just open out the back hip this way. There's actually nothing to do with stepping. It's just to do with hip changes. So in this case, I can make a yokomen from a static position, just opening the back hip slightly more. And then from here, just press in with the thrust. Well, in this case, it's like a static yokomen. Give it a try.
All right.
Oh. That's good. Hey. Hey. Oh. Okay, now just explore doing these in one movement now. So one movement, one breath. You're basically going to press out. This way. You can explore the kind of changing breath. So it's kind of coming out this way. You can explore it in just one thing. This way. Yeah, so just explore now this one movement, one kind of exhalation. This way. Yeah, and then refine it. This way. This way. All right. Gonna kind of change as you do it.
Michael?
Yeah.
The ski. Let me see. If you're in this position, do you rotate the bokken a little bit?
Yeah.
And do you align it with your underarm?
Yeah. Let's see.
In this way.
Let's see. One more time. Ooh, I've lost you.
Oh.
One more.
So from here, this way. Oh. So you're here, and then you go in.
Aha. Okay. I'll show. One sec.
Okay, good. So in this case, yeah, you're gonna rotate it here. It's almost like this the contact. So that it's like the base of the hand. Here's kind of in.
It's on the.
Yeah. I'm basically what I'm looking to do is link the bokken work and this hand into this arm.
Yeah.
And what that means is basically it's going to follow the same line as the arm. My feeling's as if the bokken grows out of the underneath of the forearm, like a Wolverine kind of out from the hand. So it's like this kind of connection. If I do that kind of thing, what happens is if I use this with a striking this, then the tension goes actually here. And actually, if I'm trapped on the center line here, then the bokken as I make impact actually hits me. So what I want to do is roll it so that the bokken's actually side of the body this way. So it's just on the back hip or in line with the back hip. It's in that kind of feeling. And yeah, let it fully rotate. So it does that kind of screwing, spiraling work with the body. Yeah. It's basically just a result of the hip work.
Yeah.
So the hips are doing it, and it's not that I just twist the hands, but I roll through the hip that way, and actually don't really do anything with the hands, just allow them to follow.
Yeah.
It's that kind of quality. Yeah, good question. Good.
Thank you.
Good. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Okay. And then now just explore slightly longer sequences with this. So you're going to cut through us, cut through us, cut through us. As many as you can kind of do or fit in. So in this case, just find the yokomen, yokomen, and you can also move, change direction. So you're going to make the yokomen. In terms of footwork, explore. There's kind of 3 ways to do the feet. In terms of the basic, you land the back foot and you press through. Each time you're going to land both feet together. So land, oh, can't see my feet. Land the feet, land the feet, land the feet, land the feet. In terms of the second way, what you're going to do is allow the front foot to fully ground. The back foot stays off. You can just see the space between my at the ground. And then what I do is press out from the ball of the foot. So each time I don't really ground the back foot. Just make a connection with the ground and press out of it. The second way. This way. And then the third way is where you just walk through the movement. So you do this way. Yeah, which is much more difficult. But the feeling is just a walk through. So I'm actually only placing now my weight fully in one foot. This way, it just comes in. This way. Yeah? So give it a try. You've got 1, 2, 3. One's where you fully ground both feet. The second's where you partially ground the back foot. And the third one's where you just kind of walk through the Suburi. Give it a try. Play with all 3 levels. Hey. Hey. Good. Okay, very last thing, just to play with. What you're going to do now is you're going to explore different kinds of kamae. So what we tend to do certainly in the aiki ken is stick to shudan kamae, so this kind of mid-level kamae, and do all the attacks from here. Sometimes in the kumitachi we're changing the position first. So what I want you to do, just explore them. For those of the familiar, really explore different kinds of positions. I give you some basic ones to play with. So you've got chudan, you've got gedan, which is low. This is just where the sword begins to lower here. So, okay, and you've got jodan. From the same position, the sword's just raised above the head this way. So you've got low and high. And in this case, you've got also low by taking a step back this way. Yeah, and the same with the jodan that you're familiar with, this movement. So you can play with those three if you're not sure. And then what I want you to do is explore really different ones. So you've also got these kind of hasso positions here. You've got this position at the side, go waki kamae here. And you've also got all sorts of different positions where the hand shifts in the body, opposite across the body. Really explore different kinds of positions. And then what I want you to do is just start by exploring different positions, and then we'll go into create an attack. But just move around and just have a sense of moving into a position here, and then just go to another position. Make it nice and smooth. Just really looking at connection. In terms of the breath work, keep it very calm. You want to be very efficient in the movements. So it's very quiet. It's like the breath becomes hidden at this point. Very calm and quiet. You're just adjusting from position to position. Have the feeling that you can really stay within the kamae. Yeah. Okay, and the quality in the kamae, I would say this is like, it's like waiting for a bus. You've got to wait with no kind of expectation that it's going to come, and you can't get angry that it's not coming in time. So you really got to have a sense that you can just stand and wait. So with no kind of investment in the time it's going to come. So maybe you're late, but you've got to really have a sense that you can wait without becoming kind of impatient and how do you say, kind of itchy to move. I don't want to be kind of itchy in the kamae. If I'm kind of itchy in the kamae, gives all my signals away. I really want to move. Now, someone that's kind of itchy in a kamae, you know straight away you've got them trapped. So in a sense, try and have a sense of calmness and coolness. You really want to be just connected. Just wait in the movement. You can wait for a long, long time. You go nowhere. And then with this kind of quality, just get into a position and then really feel when you have an impulse to attack. Just go with the attack. You can kind of cycle through the kamae, change position, and then when you feel the kind of impulse to attack, go. Just explore different kinds of attacks. So moving from kamae, moving into kamae. Let's give it a try. So go from this kind of very calm, patient positioning to then in a kind of explosive attack. Good. Nice. Okay, very good. So it's time. So we'll take a bow out. Domo arigato. Thanks a lot.